I love my calendar girl.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. I was literally writing the post for Vero, and I was like, "Calendar Girl, there's a song. Why
Yes.
can't I think of it?" And then it's like, there it is. You just saved me the 3 a.m. Oh shit.
Yeah. I know. I totally forgot to post do the full on post on Twitter. My bad, but I just posted the Twitter link, so we're good. We're live.
We're good. Hey, I never share it till after the stream is done anyway because
Yeah.
I unfortunately the intro animation isn't long enough for me to like quote it and then write all the like
Yeah.
things on top of it. So I'm just like, I'll just share it when the show's done.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah.
work.
Well, usually I share the YouTube link, but I was like, as I had some difficulties with end of my show, so then I was like trying to look into stuff with that and then set everything up, and I just blanked on it. So, anyways, guys, who
I'm going
cares?
to congratulate you on having a show at least because you know when I remembered that we had the stream tonight
What?
at 8 p.m.
Wait, what now?
I forgot about the DC Fan-imated stream.
You totally did.
Totally did.
Oh wow.
I've had a day. I've had a
Oh,
day.
I've had a day too. I've had a week.
I
Yeah.
know. And I got home and I got home at 8 from various things. I mean, like my day started at 4:45 and
I
just kept
started
on
at
going.
4:30. Yeah.
And so I was talking to Heather and I looked at my phone and saw your stream. I was like, oh, Dave's doing a stream. Wait, why is Dave doing fuck, it's Wednesday.
Yeah. No, it happens. It happens. I think next week we're not going to have a stream though, right?
No,
Yeah.
we just a good thing to say that next week we're taking the week off because I have a wackadoo work next week's going to be crazy for me at work. So we're just going to take next week off, but still stay tuned to the end of the stream where we'll announce what the next episode will be when we come back in 2 weeks.
There we go. And go ahead and exit out. Come back in as we do. And I'll say hi to Eric. What's happening? Gotta say, the episode really hits different after the real DC fans saying over and over, Amy's too old for Lois. Yeah. Ahoy, ahoy, Mr. Jason McKenzie. Good to see you, bud. All right, you're back.
Yeah, can I say how much again for this week? How much I hate StreamYard.
I know, man. I know. And I was thinking about that too, because I was like, man, maybe I should. I don't know. I have thoughts about maybe upgrades. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because I know there's that aspect, but it is so convenient. And then of course I have issues with Streamlabs. But then I'm like, is that my issues? I don't know. There's a whole thing.
Oh, we've determined that this isn't always my issue because what we think it is, it's not consistently that way. And last week, oh dear God, I don't know what last week was.
Yeah, it's all. But we're here and we're gonna be talking about mean seasons. And yes, you're welcome. Like as soon as we meet this new villain-esque. Well, I mean, let's face it, this episode is kind of like a little bit long Halloween-esque thing.
Okay, so I want to go ahead and I think this is a great opportunity to kind of dive into the comic heritage of what's going on. Okay, so the idea of so when you saw the episode and you see this villain, what came to mind for you when we're talking about this villain?
I mean, especially when it came to the calendar and circling stuff and leaving it. I mean, I just thought holiday kind of thing, but like a tiny bit long Halloween. But I know you probably have some other.
Yeah, I mean, because I would think Calendar Man.
Yeah, Calendar Man. Yeah.
So, because they do call her Calendar Girl.
Yeah.
In the episode, I love it how it's Bullock who like gives her that moniker, but It is very, 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 very loosely based on a 2-issue story from 1981. And they're in issues, check my notes here. Detective Comics number 506 and Detective Comics number 507, written by Jerry Conway. The first issue was called Who Dies for the Mannequin, and the second issue was called Dress to Die. In those issues, our model turned villain is named Miranda and goes by the supervillain name Mannequin.
Okay, I remember her. Yes, I'm like that when you were saying that. I'm like, there's something familiar about that.
See,
I
I
don't know.
never read that. Like, I didn't know this. Like, I thankfully, thanks to DC Universe Infinite, I read
Yeah,
the 2 issues tonight. You know,
yeah.
luckily by the time that I realized, oh wait, yeah, we have a stream tonight, I had time to read 2 issues and watch the episode.
There you go.
But yet they call her Calendar Girl
Yeah,
and give her this holiday obsessed kind of shtick. So it's
yeah.
like they take Miranda from the comics and they take Calendar Man and then they combine them to create this Paige Monroe character, who frankly is a much more engaging character in this episode than she is in uh, those issues of Detective Comics, at least in my opinion.
Did you recognize the voice?
I knew I recognized the voice, but I had to cheat on that one to
Oh,
look at the credits to see who it was.
oh, I actually recognize this one, and I
And
was like,
so take your
oh,
victory lap. Who was it?
oh, Seal Award, right?
Yes. Now,
Yes.
why did you recognize it was Seal Award?
Well,
Like
I love The Fugitive. First off,
I read,
um,
she's Mrs. Richard Kimball.
yes,
Yes.
and she's sexy as all hell. She's just one of those that you see her, and she's like, ah. She's been in numerous things, but my mom used to watch. There was a fucking series she was in back
Was
in
it
the
Once and
90s.
Again?
Was it Once and Again? Might have been that, and then maybe there was something else too. Yeah, it might be that, but I just know who that is, and I've always had a crush on her, and I've always her voice. Just I hear the voice, I'm like, it didn't hit right away, but I was going, who is that? And then there was something that was said, I don't know what it was, but it like rang in my brain, and I was just like, because yeah, I've always found her
Well, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And she also played, the ex love interest of House.
That's right. Duh. There's that too. Yes,
I
because I
mean,
love that
I
show.
thought you were going to go there
You
because
know,
I
I
know how much you love House. So,
totally forgot about House. But yeah, there's that too, because I'm not a fan of all the doctor shows, but I love me some House. And I forgot, yeah, duh, totally that too. So there's
it's
all
funny. I didn't even mean it, but it's funny that I'm wearing this shirt
that.
because Celia Ward went to the University of Alabama.
Oh, there you go.
And
See?
not only that, she was a Crimson Tide cheerleader.
Oh, well, of course she was. Jesus Christ. Now, very beautiful woman. And yeah, just been around for, and pops up on so many different things. But yeah, completely forgot about House. And I love that show.
Yeah.
And
There are
yeah.
other voices. I'm going to go ahead and specifically give you a heads up that we'll
Okay,
talk
but
about
but
them.
you're pixelating again,
Okay.
of course. So
Of
before we do
course.
that, jump back in. I'm wondering too. There was one voice that I thought sounded familiar. And I thought it was a certain actor that I can't remember his name too. That I'm kind of wondering as well. There is another voice in there that sounded familiar.
Okay, I will cheat and give you this. We'll talk
Okay.
as we get to the episode. All 3 of her victims,
Yeah.
all names.
Okay. Yeah. They all sounded familiar. Couldn't put a name on them. And then there was like there's like another character that when we get to it, that's like kind of a sleazy producer trying to seduce a young actress.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm going to be
Okay.
honest. That or maybe, or is that the
No.
one? Hold on. Okay, give me before we get to that, because I got to know if the voice I'm recognizing here was the sleazy producer
No, I
or
don't, because he was barely in it. He wasn't any of the people that get kidnapped. But yeah,
let's
but I'm anxious
see.
about because the other voices also sounded
No,
familiar.
no, no. Actually, yes, it was the sleazy producer. So there's one of the
Okay.
victims that isn't as big of a name, but the sleazy producer, the sleazy agent.
Yeah.
was the name. That was
Who
the
is
other names that I had. Yeah.
Who is it? Or you want to wait?
Know?
Yeah.
Barry Bostwick.
Okay, so he was in Barry. He was okay. I knew I recognized his voice. He's been in a lot of things, right?
A lot of things.
Yes, a lot of things. And you know the reason why? Like his voice stood out to me because on recent podcasts that I've been listening to, I listen to the Adam Carolla show. He's been talking about him for some reason. He's just been talking about him, and I was like, oh fuck, I can't remember his name, but I see his face. I was like,
Yes.
I see his face because he's been in so much shit, and I was like, that's got to be him, but I can't remember his name right now, and I don't want to cheat. I knew it. Fucking knew it. And once you said that, I was like, yep, I was right.
Because he's just one of those actors that you're like, know his name, you know his face, and you see him in 10,000 different things. I mean,
I remember there because he was in he was in he was in Spin City, right?
Yes, he was the mayor.
He was the mayor in Spin City.
He was the mayor in Spin City, yes.
Love that show. But it was funny because in that particular podcast that he was going off about him, somebody was like, hey, do you remember there is an old Pepsi commercial for Pepsi Twist where like I forgot who the first actress was, and then like they go, actually, this is not actually a Pepsi, this is a Pepsi Twist, and it unzips and it shows
yes,
Pepsi
I remember that commercial.
Yes, and then like I forgot who the original actress is, but then you go, I'm not really so and so, I'm actually Halle Berry, and then all of a sudden like it keeps going. Actually, this is a diet Pepsi Twist, and then he goes, well, actually, I'm not Halle Berry, I'm Barry Boswick. It's like it's so.
It was Britney Spears.
Spears, that's right. Yeah.
Oh my god,
it's an old commercial from like the early 2000s when Pepsi Twist was a thing.
Oh, well, okay. Britney Spears did it with
or was that not the same one?
I think that was a different one. Hold on, there's the one.
It was something because it was all about the name choices. So maybe it was something Hallie, or something, because that was the whole thing. Because
it was Hallie Eisenberg.
There it is. That's what it is.
Because that was the crazy. Because she goes from being like the little girl from Curly Sue.
That's right, the little girl from Curly Sue. Yes.
Yes.
So this was like a late 90s, commercial, thing. That's right. It was her. I was like, I couldn't remember the first actress when they showed the commercial. Now I was like, wait, that's a Curly Sue girl. But and then it's Halle Berry, and then it's Barry Boswick.
Yes,
yeah, it was like, oh wow. So that's what's so funny. So when I heard that voice, I'm like, that's got to be him. It sounds like him, but I could not, for the life of me tonight,
doing his best Harvey Weinstein, shall we say?
Yes, pretty much. That's what happens. But yes, so this episode starts off with a fashion show, and usually when a fashion show starts, something bad's gonna happen.
I mean, seriously, you got too many people standing in a room, really expensive designer gowns, and we have our designer, Donna Day. Now she's a voice.
Who's that voice?
It's Tippi Hedren.
Tippi Hedren. I know that name, but what is she in?
You've never guessed that she's the blonde scream queen in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Oh, well, there it is. Shit. So she's in the phone booth getting,
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay. There you go. All right. I like it. So there we go. So many names.
There are so many freaking names in this episode. It's crazy. The one I personally actually recognized will be the next one we talk about. Like that was the one that I went, nope. I know exactly who this is. No need to look at the credits.
Talking about Barkley, Mr. Barkley.
Barkley James. Yeah.
Yes. And I know I recognize this voice too, but I couldn't put
you're gonna
I know. I'm gonna kick. But I got at least I feel good about Celia Ward, and even though I didn't,
Celia Ward, yes,
and I technically a little bit got Barry Boswick. I'm gonna take a little credit for that. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'll
give you an assist on Barry.
There you go, an assist. So not a full credit, but at least I got the Celia Ward one because anyway. So and then of course we're at a fashion show, and it starts off a little cartoony because obviously you have I love it how they have like the couple in front, and they do that whole thing where she's like, ooh, you have the lady who's like, ooh, she's a little older.
A little bit rounder.
Yes. And then of course, like she's like, oh, and when she sees a certain dress, she's like, I have to get one. And the dude's like, for who? And then, of course, she hits him over the head with her.
Well, because if you listen to what Donna Day is saying about it, it's all about it. It starts. That's Hillary. Once again, we'll give credit to the writer. Hillary J. Bader wrote this episode. Once again, a name that keeps on popping up a lot once we started Superman the animated series. She laced that theme of youth and this sort of youth obsessed culture.
Yeah.
From the start, because that's even what Donna Day is saying about this fashion line. It's about kids and youth and spring, and it's a little creepy if you actually start to kind of listen to like the narration she's giving, because it just, once again, that it's still something we kind of suffer from right now, but this youth obsession is just,
it's a theme in this one for sure. And then I love the fact that Miss Paige, her calendar girl, her henchmen are Chippendale
dancers. And that is such a specific reference.
Yeah.
I mean, if you weren't alive and of age in the 90s, no one's good. But you know what?
It's still a thing now.
Is it really? Is it
Yes.
still
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's still a thing now. If you were to go to Vegas and see the Chippendales, they still wear the bow ties, no shirt, and the black tight pants. It's still a thing.
And the cuffs and the
cuffs. Oh yeah,
and
the cuffs too. Oh yeah, yeah. Like I mean, one of the last times when I really like went there and had a really good time. I mean, I remember there was like on the Fremont Street, the old strip, I guess you could say, the old Vegas. There was just like dudes that were in that outfit, and this was probably not even 10 years ago. So, I mean, it's still very much a thing. I think like the biggest thing is the Thunder from Down Under that they do now, but Chippendale's still very much a thing.
Well, but I appreciate the equal opportunity employment here in Gotham, because we talked about on The Ultimate Thrill how the Penguin had like the Playboy bunnies looking waitresses as inch women. Now Calendar Girl's got some Chippendale dancers, and you know what? Once again, like the Playboy bunny waitresses, capable henchmen.
And not capable costumes, but hey, it's whatever. They're big, they're buff, they can get shit done, but if they take on Batman and they fall on their ass and they fall on, it's gonna hurt a little bit more because there's nothing protecting that skin.
No. However, it is funny after watching Cape Crusader, it is really funny seeing a difference, like, because when they break into the fashion show and then the security guards show up, I love how that one Chippendale henchman manages to fire the guns out of the security guard's hands, where I'm like, yeah, this is Cape Crusader. Those would have been kill shots. Those two would have dropped to the floor. They would have been dead.
Done. But yeah, so I mean, it's and I love how like they just kind of like come in and they just start throwing like Easter eggs like that are just blowing up, and I'm like, hey, that's interesting, because again, she's keeping the theme of the calendar, so it's
right.
April,
She says, "Beware the Ides of March," even though she ends up pulling up an April calendar page, but it obviously it's a spring theme. She's got going on there. Because it is interesting, because while she gets specific dates, she has, I mean, the episode is called Mean Seasons. So all of her appearances are actually more like seasonal based. Yeah. So this first victim is spring. So we have Easter eggs, Easter egg grenades, Ides of March reference. The date on the calendar is like April 3rd. So I love it how it like does the whole like wraps Donna Day up in like streamers.
Yes, it's her. She definitely has her themes, which is good. You have to have it when you're going to be doing this. So then, and then after all this like happens, we got Bullock, of course, and he's the one that coins, calling her calendar girl when he's getting harassed by the press. Of course, he's like, yeah, we haven't even taken pictures of the crime scene yet. I love that when he says that. It's like, yeah, like, so, and go ahead and exit out again. You're pixelating. Of course. But yeah, I mean that's why you can kind of tie it a little bit when it comes to long Halloween and holiday and calendar man, of course. It's like but
While I was talking this time, that was nice. I was just sitting there patiently.
there you go. And I love how you have the wine. I don't have wine today.
Well, I had
Man,
a bottle that I opened up, I think last Wednesday. I think it was last Wednesday. I bought like 5 bottles of wine because they were like buy one get one free, and this is me finishing off bottle number 1. So
I like it. I know. I was like, man, I was going to, but then I was like, I'll wait. And I wish I did because wine sounds really good right now. Anyways, besides the point, so we got that, and then of course we have Bruce in his office, and obviously he's thinking about what's happening, seeing the reports and everything, and then we got Lucius that shows up, and and there is like talking about the running thing of youth. He starts talking about a certain person who works for Bruce Wayne that is going to have is going to be retiring because he's 65, and I think it's 65, right? They say
it was 65 because they said
yeah,
that was the mandatory, according to company policy, that's the mandatory retirement age
yeah,
of Wayne Enterprises, which like you said, keeps with the youth theme. But it's
yes,
also interesting because I understand certain industries having mandatory retirements, but it seems interesting that Wayne Enterprises, for whatever reason, would have a mandatory retirement age.
yeah. I mean, if you're talking about an office job that's not very physical, I mean, physical jobs, 100%, obviously.
Pilots,
Yes, pilots, that kind of stuff. Presidents will be kind of, anyways. No, that's obviously not the case, but
it would be
anyway,
nice if it was.
yeah, it might be a nice thing, but yeah. So it is kind of interesting because it's like, why if you're just at an office, nothing too crazy, but yeah, for certain occupations, for sure, there might be even certain occupations where it's like, well, I mean, when it comes to construction, I mean a lot of like I remember working for my uncle and I mean he's retired now, but when he was still working, I mean he was pushing 60, but it's not like he was doing what we were doing, obviously, but he was like, head of the office, and he would show up and make sure everybody's like, everything's running correctly. You have that, but it's still kind of a physical job. Of course, now he's retired, but yeah, physical jobs definitely, but not at an office. An office is a little bit different.
But I still like the idea that
Yeah.
it gives an opportunity for it shows some Bruce growth.
Yes.
Like I'll never blink at Batman learning a lesson. And also it's always nice when Bruce, not Batman, but Bruce has an opportunity to do something because he is a multi-billionaire CEO. It is
Mhm.
kind of nice for him to do something like nice for an employee.
Exactly.
Like, hey, how about we not discriminate you based on age and just, you know, we'll get to that scene, but I like the line which
Yeah,
says, as long as you can do the job, it's yours.
exactly. So, but the next scene, of course, is we got Gotham Motors now that are holding like a little event, and Alfred, of course, driving Mr. Wayne to the event, and well, there's a. It's so funny because there's like a van that's in front of it, and who's in the fucking driver's seat? One of the Chippendales guys. It's like, okay, maybe you should put on a shirt just to not be obvious.
I mean, seriously, I love how Bruce looks and goes, it's okay, Alfred. I'm going to need you to drop me off someplace more private. And I just love Alfred. Understood, sir.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
I love Alfred.
yeah,
I love Alfred so much where it's just like, message received. Okay.
yeah, he knows exactly. He's like, oh, yep, I see it too. That's not right. There's a big buff shirtless dude like right there. That means Batman needs to make an appearance at this event for sure. So yeah, and it's a very subtle and great exchange between Bruce and Alfred. It's an understanding. Just
It's a
there's a
very much an
language.
understanding.
There's
Of
a
course,
language there. Yeah.
yes. And then we jump into the convention center, Which is great because Lucius told Bruce about the car show. So like there's a reason for Bruce to be already going to the car show.
Yeah.
And man, this just felt so 90s too, because
yeah,
I'm sure they still do it, or maybe they don't that much anymore. But I mean, when you couldn't buy pornographic magazines as a kid, you better believe my eyes always looked at car magazines with the models just ridiculously draped across the hoods. Like, there's nothing like that at all actually in the magazine. So all you had to worry about looking at was the cover.
Yes, there was always the cover, and maybe there would be something in the middle, but for the most part, you got ads and cars all throughout that thing. But yeah, and that's why, you know, even when you go to like garages, you would see stuff like that hung up and stuff. Anyways, but yeah, that's very much a 90s thing where you got all the girls on the hoods posing with the cars and everything. So, and man, StreamYard is not liking you tonight, so go ahead and exit out again.
Jeez.
I know. Doesn't like it. It wants to make him look like he's like broadcasting from the 90s. That's what was happening. So, but yeah, that's where we get to the car show and Gotham Motors. Now, who is the dude?
Right. I demand an upgrade.
Yes. So who's the dude? Mr. Barkley.
Barkley James. Yes.
Barkley James. Sorry.
So you ready to like reach around and kick yourself?
Yes.
It's Dennis Haysbert.
Okay.
President Palmer from 24.
Ah, damn it. See, I wasn't really into 24, but Major League is my favorite fucking baseball movie. He was Pedro Serrano. And he was also in Heat.
Yes, he was in Heat. And you know, and another great show he was in for 4 seasons on CBS, The Unit.
The Unit. Yeah, I've heard of that show. Yeah.
Yeah, it had
and he also does those, you know, he did the
Allstate commercials.
Allstate, yeah, Allstate. Yeah, he's got that voice. Damn it. I knew I recognized
that's
that voice.
That's Allstate Stan.
That's Allstate Stan. Damn it. God. That just
I knew you were gonna hate yourself when I told you who that was.
Yep. I totally do. I'm like, I knew I recognized a freaking voice. That's all good. At least, like I said, I'm not batting 1,000, but I'm not batting 0, right?
No, you're not batting 0, and you were able to knock something out that even I didn't catch. So you know what? Take your win, buddy.
I'm taking my win on that one. So yeah. So then of course, when this whole thing is happening, and let's see. So she goes after Barkley, and
she got a 4th of July theme going for the summer.
This is the thumbnail choice that I have. So they're wearing like the patriotic hats. She's wearing, you know, it's funny because she's all, you know, she almost looks naked, like, you know.
Well, and that's kind of cool though, because this is, I feel like, is a wink to the mannequin character that probably inspired her from Detective Comics.
There you go.
Because in that story, Miranda is she actually is horribly burned in a car bombing, and her brother builds like this robotic exoskeleton for her to cover up like her horribly charred, burned body. But the exoskeleton makes her look like a mannequin. Like that's kind of the gag there. So this color, this sort of orange color, is the color of the exosuit. So imagine if that's what she looked like, but even with the mask on, it was just the orange, like it was almost like a C-3PO kind. That's what I would connect to. Like, think of like C-3PO, but as a woman. And that's what Mannequin was in Detective Comics.
See, I mean, like, I don't remember it like when you were talking about it at first. I mean, there's just something, I think there's something that's ringing in my brain where I think I've seen this issue or something, or I've seen something. And it's all
because she's on the cover of, I think, both issues.
Yeah, it's just something ringing in my brain when it comes to that. Anyways, so obviously they start shooting fireworks everywhere, and it's all insane. And then of course Batman intervenes and
Batgirl.
And Batgirl, yeah, not just Batman.
No Tim.
So yeah, I know. It's one of those where it's like, Tim not there, but when Tim's there, it seems like shit goes really like we
Sideways.
have great episodes when it comes to when Tim shows up. We have great episodes. Anyway, so and then of course after all the craziness that happens, of course we get like a cool little action sequence, and then she's just like, "See you in the fall, Batman," and then leaves another calendar. But this time it shows August, even though she says fall.
Well,
Am I wrong about
but
that?
okay, but if you think her next victim is a
Oh,
fall theme, so the August date fits with the summer theme of
gotcha.
current caper.
Yeah, makes sense. And of course, yeah, Barkley gets taken. It's just kind of sad because like this takes place over like a few months, right?
No,
No.
it's happening over day to day. She's just leaving the calendars because the
Ah, okay.
calendar dates.
That's what I was gonna like when I was watching. I'm like, wait, is this taking place over a time, or is this she just throwing it out there? See, I
She's
wasn't too
throwing it
yeah.
out there because actually, I think like in the next scene or two, when Batgirl uses the Bat computer to figure out who Calendar Girl is, and she
Yeah.
uses those dates are tied to when she got fired by these various uh, companies as their model. So
Okay.
April 3rd was when Donna Day dropped her. August 7th is when Gotham Motors dropped her. So
Yeah.
that's the
Okay. Okay. I see. Yeah. Okay. I was kind of wondering. I'm like, they trying to show that this is over a time period, or
No, I think that's where
no?
in your head you went a little too long, like you took the
A little
long
too
haul
long Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yes, I did. But yeah, and then of course we get to the Batcave, and Batgirl is doing her research as she does, and we find out it's Paige Monroe, and she was a stunning actress, and
She wasn't an actress, she was a model. She was going
oh,
to get into
trying to
acting.
get to acting. There we go.
Yes.
There we go. And
Which
then of course,
actually ties into once again to the comic story
okay,
because
yeah,
it's her becoming an actress that leads to the incident that ended up scarring her. So I'm trying to stay spoiler-ish free of the comic book story in case people actually want to go back and like
yeah,
read
I
the
get
issues.
it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. And then cut to the sleazy producer that's seducing the
Barry
actress,
Bostwick.
the Barry Boswick. When I was like, damn, that voice. He has a very distinct voice. And
And he
then
does Dick really well.
yes, he definitely does. He definitely does. And they show up, Batman and Batgirl show up. And then I love how like Batgirl's like, you might want to run when it comes to the actress, like, yeah, get out of here.
My favorite one is where he goes, "I'm in a meeting," and then Batman like did that thing where he like grabs him one handed
Yeah.
up against the wall. It's like meeting's canceled.
And then of course they get some info out of him, and then this is where they start really talking about, oh, what had happened. Well, she turned 30. What can
Oh
you do?
God, isn't that so true and yet so disgusting at the
Yeah,
same time?
yeah. It's like when you hear that, it's like, I don't know about you, but I don't know. Like I mean, I think it's yeah. Back in the day, it was bad. I think it's not as bad now, for sure. I mean, there's still an
But
aspect of
it's
it.
still there. It's
It's
weird.
still there.
It's like it depends on who you are,
Yeah,
whether it's there or not. Because
true.
this is kind of like this episode. This thing came out in 1998, but it feels Me Too before Me Too,
A little bit.
but yet it's like it. I think the episode is still relevant because these issues are still there. I mean, honestly, just watch any kind of comment section on social media or
Yeah,
the
like
internet.
comment sections. Yeah, comment
Whenever
sections on the
someone
internet.
gets older
Yeah.
and bothers to like do something, like even the comments underneath it, you just want to go, okay, you creeps. Like,
I know. But see,
sure.
if I see something with Carla Gugino, I'm like, oh,
Oh, you and
I'm
me both. I mean,
yeah,
I'm the guy that's like the older they get. I mean, there are several actresses who I'm going to say, no, you actually look so much better now.
You're a fine wine.
That you look better in
Fine.
your 40s and your 50s
Oh
than you
yeah.
did in your 20s.
Oh yeah. For some reason, it's kind of funny how this episode is what we're watching this week, because for some reason when I've been scrolling through YouTube Shorts, there has been the thing where they show like it's also been actors too, but actresses been showing actresses then and now, like from the 80s to now. And it's been kind of funny just to like, and now we're talking about this, but like, again, seeing some of them, I'm going, yeah, she looks better now. Yeah, she looks better now. I'm like, okay, she aged gracefully. It was just like one of those things. And it's like seeing that. And it's just kind of funny how this is the episode that we're talking about when
I
that's
know.
been
You know,
weird. The algorithm is weird,
the
man.
weird argument was weird. And you know what? I'm going to flip this on its head. I'm going to talk about a male actor who I actually think gets more attractive the older he's gotten.
Mm.
George Clooney.
George Clooney definitely did. Oh yeah, you saw that. I mean, he had some hair when he was like, I think he guest starred on the Facts of Life, right? He was on that, I think.
Yeah, he
Or
did. Yeah, I think he had like the mullet. He was rocking,
yeah,
and then he kind of like had the shade. He kind of like the really close cut, kind of like what I
he
have,
got
but of
the
course more.
Caesar cut. He made the Caesar cut popular
Yes,
because it was just like flat forward and it was very short. And then of course, that was ER, and then of course he became the stud of that. And then yeah, it just seems like the fucking man just yeah, he's just that kind of dude where it's just like he gets, Brad Pitt was always like the pretty boy. I think he's aged actually pretty well for being 60. He's probably had a lift or two, but just saying, but sometimes Steve Carell was actually one of those guys that I've even seen people go, you know what, he's gotten better looking with his age, even though he's
yes,
like a
he has. He
yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
has. But because even Irv Kleinman makes the comment when he's being interrogated, there were rumors the doctor
yeah,
nipped when he should have tucked.
yes.
So it's just kind of like, which also reminds me of that disgusting, disturbing show.
Never watched it. I
I
didn't.
never watched it either. Heather watched it. I was only vaguely interested in it
Yeah.
because the guy, one of the main leads was the guy who played Doom in
Yep.
the first two Fantastic Four movies, and Katie Sackhoff was there for a season before they
Mm,
recast her, unfortunately, for like
yeah.
the next season.
Yeah.
Y-
And see, that's another thing too. I mean, that's brought up here. And when he says that, it's like, yeah, you'll see that in Hollywood too, where people do get work done and you go, oh God, what did you do? And and going back to Brad Pitt, I mean, I saw a video where it's like, oh yeah, he's had a lift. He just had a very good one. He paid top dollar. It's like if you look right here, people do that stuff, which is weird. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's why his face is still very youthful, understandable. But I mean, sometimes you'll see certain things and you go, oh, what did you do? Why did you do that? And it sucks because obviously, that's the bad part of Hollywood is like, oh, it's like your face, your looks and everything. And it sucks that that's the case, because then you go and get some work and the outcome ends up being worse than what it
Because
was
it's not
before.
because it doesn't look natural. It's
Oh,
like
it doesn't. Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. Which
terrible.
which once again, I think it's when it's been a hot minute, I feel like, since we've had an episode that I feel like deals with these more mature themes that,
Mhm,
once again, it's 98. So you and I are like we're 16 at
mhm.
this point. So I feel like at 16, we get what's being like said, like we understand what's being said here.
Totally.
But it's still the idea of, but if I was back and I was 10, I don't think I would get it. It'd be like
No.
watching It's Never Too Late and going, I don't get the drug story and like the
Yeah.
Godfather mob boss stuff. It's like I'm not
Yeah.
catching on this. So I appreciate the episode is like really like going for this more adult theme in this episode, and in its own 22-minute way kind of talking about the superficiality of modeling and Hollywood and fame.
Mhm.
And it was weird watching this episode going, yeah, this episode is for what it is. It's deep. It's like it's dealing with some stuff. And I appreciated the episode even more because honestly, the only part of this episode that I remembered, like distinctly. This is one of those episodes where the twist at the end that stuck with me with this episode. So as the episode's going on, I don't remember the beats of the episode, but I remembered that ending.
And I
And I
remember
think
that last one.
and I think that's what's impressive about this episode is that it got its point across so well that the ending was what stuck with me the most from watching it.
Yeah. And so then, of course, when we got, of course, Barkley and Donna that are tied up, and then we're back at the hideout, and then we have Paige that is just in her dressing room, and then of course when one of her henchmen walk in because she doesn't have her mask on, she freaks the fuck out.
She doesn't let her henchmen see her without her mask.
How bad her issues are with all that. Yikes.
Yeah, because once again, the episode is leading you to believe, spoiler, that she is like Phantom of the, like we're talking like Phantom of the Opera kind of like
nose and everything. Yeah,
I mean, which is like I said, which is interesting because in the comic, she really is fucked up. Like she's like Spawn level hamburger face in. I'm sorry, I backed the new Spawn figure on Kickstarter that Todd McFarlane just launched, and I always laughs that when they talk about the unmasked Spawn, they always refer to it as hamburger head.
Yeah. That's funny. Hamburger face. So true. But so she gets really upset, and then of course does her villainy kind of speech about things, and as they do in these. And then of course we have another event that is going to be happening this time.
It's basically the upfronts.
Pretty much, it's like an upfront of a studio, and
it's network. It's Gotham Worldwide Broadcasting. I love it's the GWB.
That's right, and they actually show they show the logo and everything.
Wink, wink, hint, hint.
GWB.
By the way, I'm going to pause. I'm going to rewind.
Okay.
Back at the motor show.
Yeah.
The car companies or the car names. There's Easter eggs in there.
Is there?
There's one that's Reba, Dan Reba, director of several episodes. There's Dini. So like if you look at the background, like the car companies,
that's cool.
It's like it's all the creators of the show.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it when they do that. So then of course they're showing like, oh, we're gonna show our new slate for fall lineup, and of course it's all young, it's all youth, it's all we got.
And doesn't it just scream like this is the CW?
Oh, it totally does. It fucking does. I was like, good Lord, I could see those shows. Are those shows actually exist? Have they existed?
You know what? I mean, model student.
Oh God.
And I even love how they even intentionally like act badly, like they made the actors of the show sound like terrible actors. It was great.
Yeah, teen cop and an urban teen teams up with a force, and it's like, oh,
education is cool, man.
Yeah, it's so like on the nose. It's so ridiculous.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. And then of course we got Paige. She shows up with a big fan, and literally, I'm talking literally a big fan. She just
blows leaves at them because once again we've had spring, we've had summer. It's the fall. It's the fall lineup. So let's have our fall theme of
keeping the theme.
Keeping the theme. You gotta love a consistent villain.
You do. You really do, and I appreciate her, especially with that voice. Anyways, so and then of course, while all that's starting to happen, we get the Batmobile that I love how they just drive right into the place.
I know, right?
It's like careful, bats, but hey, you know what? Whatever. And then of course, Batman and Batgirl get out. And obviously we get another little action sequence thing that happens. And then I love how she just has like an earring that's a smoke bomb.
Yeah.
She's got some toys, man.
She does have some toys. I mean, at least with her, she's been missing for so long. I could believe she's like acquired this over like it doesn't feel like that these toys just came out of nowhere. It's like, no, she had time to like obsessively plan her revenge.
And
So
she probably made a shit ton with her modeling career. So it's like she had the money. She had, she had the funds to do all this. And then of course the fight goes outside, and then and then it's like, yeah, okay, question.
okay.
Because I was like, there's just one little thing, and it has really nothing to do with anything, but it was just something that I thought about, because it was always a thing that we saw anytime that you had a movie that took place within a movie. You always had the director on the crane sitting in the chair.
Yes, you did.
Do you actually see that ever now? That never happens anymore.
No, it does not. No,
but you would always see that in movies where we go, cut, and he's got the bullhorn or whatever, and he's in that chair that's on the crane, and yeah, maybe there's a camera attached to it too, but you just never see that anymore, huh?
That's like a trope that just died.
It really was. Yeah, it totally died, because anytime that you're on set, they're always way off, sitting in the chair underneath a tarp with a bunch of monitors.
Like they're in the video village.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what yes, there you go. Video village. But yeah, it's just, I remember I was like, when I just saw her sitting in that crane chair, I'm going, I don't fucking see that anymore. I remember like that was a common trope whenever it was like, cut, and then he's just, he's on there. You did good, baby. Yeah, what are you doing? It's like, I just need one more take or something like that. You saw that a lot in like those kind of movies within movies kind of thing.
I love that, because you know what my brain went this entire time?
Huh?
Is Batman going to get to keep this T-Rex?
Right?
Because I'm seeing going, we have the giant penny in the Batcave.
Yep.
When do we get the T-Rex in the Batcave?
Where's the T-Rex? I know. And then, of course, she makes like a little jab, like, T-Rex has been dead for, but they still get rolled.
That was a good one.
That was good.
That was good. That was good. Oh, by the way, another tangent. I have to go with it. So Callum has really gotten into the Batwheel show.
Okay.
And so his birthday was like Batwheels themed. He got some Batwheels toys. He got a Batwheels Batcave playset. So there's a character in Batwheels that is the Bat computer.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's an actual character. Yeah,
there's an actual character, AI. So like it talks to, that's how the cars come alive, is they get the AI from the Bat computer put into them. If you haven't watched Batwheels, it's a really cute show. Just to the listeners out there. But what's so funny is that on Callum's Batcave, and Declan had a Batcave set, but didn't have this. But this Batwheel set does. The Bat computer is right there in the center. Guess what frames the Bat computer on his little playset?
What?
The giant pennies on the left and the T-Rex is on the right. And I'm just like, oh my God, Daddy's so happy right now.
Yay! But yes, I mean we have a T-Rex that obviously it's not real. It's animatronic
It's animatronic. It's like it just reminded me of a little piece of home from Superman the Animated Series.
There it is. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of too. And so then of course Batgirl and Batman are having to fight this T-Rex, which is they do their thing. Obviously, I like how first Batgirl like wraps a batarang rope around the mouth, and then of course when she gets in trouble, he's on like the whole light rig, and he just shoots like his grappling hook and then ties it to that. It pulls it and lands on top of it and destroys it. Smart Batman, smart. And yeah, and then this is where we're gonna start coming into this thing.
Okay, because that T-Rex fight lasts a while, actually.
It does, and I'm like going. I was like, what was gonna be the end of this? And I'm like, well, we could see like the end of this episode, which is good.
It is good.
Here. So we're back here
at the nightclub that she apparently has a title to, as Batgirl discovers.
There you go.
I used to be a face.
And showing the people tied up.
And
nipples
destroyed me, destroyed my career. I tried to get it back.
Oh, Celia Ward does.
For 10 years,
she
delivers
this role serious.
Surgery for what? Days became weeks. Weeks became years. Until my time.
God, she brings out the scythe, and this is free. Now the only place where her season thing kind of falls apart is she really doesn't have a winter
Now
theme
I
for
only
the
have
episode.
one
Nah,
holiday left
she
to
doesn't.
celebrate. The Day of the Dead.
Day
And you're going to celebrate it with me.
Oof.
Oh, come on. Why didn't you just kill them right then? Stop monologuing, Paige.
No.
Just in
Gotta
time
have
for
time
Batman.
for a batarang to fly in there.
I know, right? Still never get tired of Shirley Walker.
Nope, never.
I mean, guys, you're fighting frickin' Batman.
Yeah, I mean they give a good effort, I guess.
I mean, they had to
With
take
their,
him on.
with their greasy bodies.
I know. Right? They had to take him on even 2 at a time to even try.
Right. Exactly.
Now, the metaphor that goes on here with her picture being projected on that giant screen, and what happens as this third act goes, it catches on fire because y'all, if you didn't realize that, if you didn't keep that thing moving, it would overheat.
This
Like,
must
oh,
be
yeah.
my
that was a
lucky
thing.
day.
That was a thing when it came to projectors. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that right there. Just the way that it starts doing that, and then she sees her face just
burning
goes,
away. Oh,
My face.
My face.
which she gets distracted, but at least psychologically, it fits with her character. It works.
It does work. But yeah, just that right there. It's not like a super. I mean, obviously the T-Rex fight was, everything else before that was a little bit more exciting. But it's all the
Did you read
imagery
her rights?
Yes,
that
sir.
we just saw right there.
Oh,
just
and
the
Bullock
way-
being an ass.
Then she knows they don't
I know.
include this.
Oh, ah!
No, don't.
And she's not scarred at all. She's still very beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
She can't see that anymore. All she sees
She
are
can
the
see is the
flaws.
flaws.
Jeez.
Oh my god, that
Oh.
I mean, and that whole idea of body image and dysmorphia, she honestly believes she is so horrific that she has to wear a mask, like a porcelain mask, this entire time, and there's nothing wrong with her.
She's flawless. She's flawless. Yeah.
This episode, this is the episode that I feel like no one talks about.
No.
And it's one of those sleepers that you're like, this is a legit episode of the animated series.
All themes of it. If you think about it, I mean, when I rewatched it right now, I was like, this episode's, I even thought, I was like, all right, action wise, meh. But theme wise, yeah, it's good. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, and then of course, like you said, when we get to, when we talked about how, before we even get to that point where, what's his name? Bernie, right? His name is Bernie.
Bernie, the employee who's going to be mandatorily retired. Yeah.
When he's just like, when Bruce is like, well, he's basically saying like, yeah, this is my last little whatever the hell.
His last report. Yeah.
Yeah, his last report. And then Bruce is like, yeah, sorry that I can't make your retirement. And he goes, oh, you got something else to do. And he goes, and then he just turns to him and just says like,
I'm canceling it.
I'm canceling your retirement. And if you could still do the job, it's still yours. And then I love how Bernie just goes, yes. And he pulls off his toupee.
Yeah, because he was trying to pretend to, because let's not, okay, I know that we've been focusing on Paige for this entire episode and kind of but let's not discount the fact that men, to a different degree and in a different way, but men still there's ageism looks different between men and women, but it still exists with men as well as women. It's just, it gets talked about in a different way. It presents itself in different ways, but it's still there. And I think sometimes the conversation doesn't include the fact that men can suffer from that too. And that can really affect mental health as well.
Totally does.
This is a mental health. This is
totally is. And I love what Lucius even says. Like Lucius said to Bruce in that first scene, where he goes, when even Bruce was like, he's 65, and he goes, yeah, some some of us, some guys just hide the gray, and it's like he makes a note like, yeah, some guys have to like hide the gray, whether it's for hide the bald or hide the gray by dyeing or something, like dyeing your hair or whatever the hell. So
it's something that I don't worry about, clearly. I mean, it's really funny. Like, you can just watch, like, I'm not sure if it was the camera that I had, but go back 3 years. My beard looked jet black on this stream, and now you can't help but see all of this right now on my chin. And if you could see it, it's all it's just like it's all down here, and I don't care, man. I paid for this gray.
No, it's one of those things where it's just like embrace it. I know I have it all peppered out right here. I haven't gotten anything in my facial hair quite yet, but now that I said that, I'll probably wake up and be like, "Oh shit, there it is." But
we'll dude, you're fine. You're fine.
I know.
I've seen you in person. You're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
No, I'm good. I remember. I mean, I've had grays since I turned 30. For fuck's sake, I remember it was like morning of turning 30, and right in front, I was like, "What? Look at that guy!"
At least you still have hair. I started losing my hair sophomore year of college.
Yeah, I got blessed with that. At least not none of that in my family, which was like, watch it be me first. But no,
you just have to put pictures of my grandfather, my father, and me. It's just like, yep. There's a theme here.
You didn't stand a chance, but you rock it well, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know what I do is because I cut my hair short, and I don't try to hide it. I just kind of go, it's here.
And it works with the beard and everything. It's your look, man.
It is my look. It's my face.
We like it. It's your
as
face.
Unfortunate as that may be, it's my face,
We love your face. But great episode. Like I said,
really
a lot of themes here. Really great episode, and it's just one of those, like you said, it's a sleeper. And not a lot of people talk about. I barely remember this episode as well, and it's just So, but revisiting it, and I'm just kind of going, and I remember in the middle of it going, is this going to be a cheesy episode or is this not? But then themes, and then of course talking about it more here, it just makes you appreciate the writing a lot.
Hillary
out
of the park.
God, she did it. So, like we said, we will not be doing the stream next Wednesday. We'll be taking a week off. But when we come back, what do we have?
Well, I mean, I think it's appropriate that we take a week off because when we come back in 2 weeks, which, by the way, I believe the date will be September 4th. So when we come back on September 4th, folks, we are starting season 3 of Superman the Animated Series.
We're back in Metropolis.
The season 3 premiere is called Where There's Smoke.
Where There's Smoke.
Go check it out. Like I said, we're jumping back. It's been a hot minute since we finished season 2, but we're coming back. Take a break. I thought when I told Dave about next week and we were like, let's just take the week off. I was like, perfect. Because it will just sort of signal the beginning of season 3, the final season of Superman the Animated Series. Folks, we're in a stretch now because we're in the final season of Batman the Animated Series. We're starting the final season of Superman the Animated Series. And yet we still have so much more to go. The party ain't over yet.
Where are we diving into? All the DCAU.
We were actually talking about this offline last week. Roughly, guys, in 4 months, we're talking Batman Beyond.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's going to be good stuff. New intro, hopefully, we'll be getting. Well, not hopefully, we'll be hopefully. Yeah.
There will be a new intro.
I mean, we'll be getting new intros. So we try to adjust them accordingly to what we're talking about. So there you go, guys. Yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks when it comes to DC Fan-imated. And a great episode to end Gotham, our string of Gotham that we've been at right here, and just like a nice little sleeper episode. And I'm gonna look at images of Celia Ward after this.
I knew you.
It's just, I don't know.
I knew that. This is where this was
going. Hot. It's so hot, and that voice. Ugh. Anyways, but we appreciate you guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks back in Metropolis. Go ahead and plug away, Scott.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter X, ScottDC27, on Instagram at McMerlin, and you can find me on Vero at Scott McClellan. stay tuned. Probably within the next week, if we keep our plans, Ray and I should be recording the next episode of DC TV Squadcast. Well, we will be discussing as a catch-up the first 2 seasons of My Adventures with Superman. So, of course, you can find the DC TV Squadcast wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, we're on Vero, Facebook, and YouTube with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com.
There you go. All right, guys, hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And again, we'll see you in two weeks. And for anybody, of course, that just watches the channel, we'll see you Friday for the Vodka stream. All right, guys, we love you, and we'll talk to you later.